So it's been about a month since I've been back from Miami, so I figured I'd put some of my videos I took there together and provide some travel advice for people considering going. It's such a popular destination and I'm sure there's a lot of different stories out there, but I figured I'd add my perspective. I'll tell you what, the first thing about traveling to Miami is that hotels are really expensive. And fortunately for me, I had a friend who has recently moved to Brickell, which is essentially located next to downtown, and he let me stay in his condo for the week I was there. So I saved a good amount on hotels and had this sweet view of sunset every night, but in exchange for stay, I did have to take care of a dog. And honestly, I couldn't really complain much about that. I think it's really easy to get caught in the nightlife culture of Miami. It's certainly what I call poppin', and it's a lot of fun for sure, but it's easy to forget that Miami has actually a lot of natural beauty as a city. Despite all the industry and culture happening there, it's easy to get to see really interesting birds and cool plants and things like that. It's definitely essential to check out Little Havana. It's one of the most iconic neighborhoods in Miami, and places like Cafe Versailles and the walk down Calle Ocho really give you a reminder about what Miami is all about. Cuban food, Cuban coffee, Cuban music is amazing. I really enjoy it, and it's really hard not to, especially the fact that everything at Cafe Versailles is really cheap compared to a place like Brickell, where food can get really expensive. So I really enjoyed my afternoon there. Definitely a must-do if you're visiting Miami, although you don't need more than a few hours to get a good feel for the place. So one of the things I did when I was in Miami was explore the area by city bike. It's much cheaper than Uber, and some of the other micro-mobility options like Bird scooters or Lyft scooters or whatever they use are limited to certain areas. This gave me an opportunity to check out parts of downtown, and I rode the MacArthur Bridge all the way to South Beach. I would probably not recommend riding the MacArthur unless you're an experienced biker. When I was in South Beach, I made sure to spend a lot of time at South Point Park. This is located in the South 5th area, a little bit more of a residential, more chill part of Miami Beach. And hanging out on the beach, having a few drinks and watching the sunset was one of my favorite things I did in Miami. I wasn't the only one there, but it wasn't too crowded. You get a great view of the skyline, and from this perspective you can really see how massive of a city it is. It's easy to think about Miami as being a small city, and that's really not the case. It is a huge urban sprawl, one of the biggest in the US. Of course, boating is a big part of Miami culture, and if you're not willing to pony up the couple $100 that it costs at minimum to rent out a boat for the afternoon, it's fun to watch other people having a good time in their boats. And sometimes you'll see some cruise ships coming through the harbor. Just like boating, it's important to take advantage of the fresh seafood, get some ceviche. This is downtown Miami Beach. Another place that's definitely worth spending an afternoon is the Wynwood area. It's Miami's art and culture district, and in parts it's a little bit run down or waiting to be built, but The street art there is really something, and it really makes visiting a unique experience. Certainly in the downtown area, in the central area near what they call the Wynwood Walls, although the Wynwood Walls are actually a museum of street art, kind of ironic, but still, there's art available everywhere, so you don't really have to pay the $10 or $15 to go to a museum. I grabbed a mojito from the Miami Mojito Bar and took it with me to go. No worries, walking around, looking at some cool art, drinking a little mojito. There's sweet shopping in Wynwood too for, your hipster type of clothing, and lots of fun boutique stores. It's a pretty chill way to spend the afternoon. It's a little bit touristy, I'll say, but it's good. And then there's Oasis, which is a fun bar and live music venue that I spent the night hanging out with some friends, having drinks and sampling a few different types of food and listening to some reggae music. Just looking back on the trip, I think it's really easy to get lost in the nightlife, like I said before, but just make sure you take time to appreciate how beautiful of a city Miami is. And I think it's hard not to have a good time. Just be safe and keep an eye on your spending, and make sure one morning you wake up early if you're staying up late, having fun other nights, so you can get to see the city from this perspective. Watching sunrise over the beach and over the skyline is really awesome and definitely worth doing. But yeah, not much is happening during the day because of how hot it is, especially during the summer. So make sure to be safe and have a great time.